scientists, no experiment. Sit back and relax, Winston. This one's all me. It's going to be a very short show.
And you're sure you haven't seen them?
Not for the last half an hour or so. I'm normally out here by now banging on about numbers.
And you've checked everywhere. The break room, Dr. Magnus's dressing room.
Break room, they're always out the dressing room by now.
Colin, can you please just go and check if they're in the dressing room and I'll get security to do another look around. Don't press that button.
Good.
I do believe we were sent there on purpose, Chester.
Oh, bugger.
On purpose? Dr. Magnus, who? Who would have sent us there? Intentionally?
I'm not sure. Perhaps it was a competition.
To the blissful union?
Yes, those nerds have been jealous of our euphoria device ever since we secured the funding from Advance.
They're trying to stop us?
Yes, we must proceed immediately.
Dr. Magnus, if we hadn't have got out of there, I'm not sure.
If you hadn't got us out, Chester, I mean, that thing. If you hadn't broken the door down and got us out with that unexpectedly impressive show of strength, well, you did well today, Mr. Mims. You did well.
Dr. Magnus, that's the kindest thing you've ever said to me.
I know I've been a bit harsh on you in the past, Chester, but I promise that this changes from now until the end of time.
Thank you, sir. That means so much.
There you are, Dr. Magnus. We were worried something had happened to you. Glad you both look fine. Actually, you look like you've seen a ghost. Are you all right?
We have undergone a deeply distressing and scientifically implausible trauma at the hands of our enemies. We are absolutely and definitively not all right. Fortunately, a remedy is at hand.
Dr. Magnus, we're not even...
The solution is flawless. The execution is the problem. I don't know why you suggested the old haunted man and soundstage. Terrible idea. But I have a better place. Don't worry, Alex. I'll clean up your mess. Okay, there is no way those scientists are showing up on this show. I think we're good.
And you're sure you haven't seen them?
So infuriating you don't remember our conversations, you know.
And you've checked everywhere, the break room, the dressing room.
Yes, and I stood off the old banner soundstage.
Wait, why would you do that? Colin, can you please just go and check if they're in the dressing room and I'll get security to do another look around.
Yes, look all you want. You won't find them this time.
Why can't he press the button? Isn't that the whole point, isn't it? Wait, where is everybody?
Where
Where's
indeed?
Professor What's-His-Face and his collection of smiling idiots? Jenny?
Yes, Dr. Charles Magnus and his assistant. Sorry I'm late filing my teeth. Where are the guests? They seem to have mysteriously disappeared. I'll have them back here by the time you come back from the titles, don't worry.
It's considered poor form to lose the guests, Jenny.
Well, next time, I'll read the news and you can chase the wandering scientist. How about that? 10 seconds!
Probably do a good job.
Oh, you can make Colin my co-anchor. Going in 5, 4, 3.
With Jeremy Donaldson and
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and this is The Night of Smiles.
What did I tell you? Nice short show.
few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass experiment of its type. So let's talk about the man behind the merriment, Dr. Charles Magnus, who we'll be speaking to later this evening. Truly a visionary, right, Jeremy?
Yes, if by visionary you mean...
Sabotage!
If by visionary you mean...
How did they get out of there?
Told us it was the way to get into the studio. Told us it was the way to get into
Didn't
the
seem
studio.
believable, but he was so convincing.
Yes, I bloody was.
Told us that all television studios were entered by
We don't work in television. How are we supposed to know?
So we got in and...
Supposed to know
so
the
we got
darkness,
in and...
the sliding, the big splash, and then the wet
And the
splash, and the
clownfish.
wet. Lucky the viscosity was low. Or heaven knows what would have happened. Viscosity was low.
Somebody is clearly out to sabotage us.
Yes, Dr. Magnus, probably the blissful union. Yes, Dr. Magnus, probably the blissful union.
Those nasty little geeks. We must start the experiment immediately.
Wait.
Right, I've had enough. There's only one real solution that will fix this once and for all. Once more into the breach, dear Winston. Once more.
And you're sure you haven't seen them?
Yes, they definitely won't be coming on now.
And you've checked everywhere, the break room, Dr. Magnus's dressing room.
I actually had to kill them, Winston. I didn't mean to. I thought knocking them unconscious would work, but then they fought back and, well,
Colin, please.
his dressing room is in a right state.
Security to do another look around. Oh, and don't press that button.
Why can't he press the button? That's the whole
But
point.
on the bright side, they won't press the button now, so we're out of the loop, which is... Wait, we're out of the loop. And I killed them.
Magnus and his assistant.
Sorry I'm late. Blood everywhere. Where are the guests?
Both of them were mysterious.
Oh, no. I can't go to jail. I wouldn't do well in the joint, Alex. Nope, that won't do at all.
Time. I read the news and you chase after the wandering scientist. How about that? 10 seconds.
And
Scientists,
now
you
on
really think there
Channel
should be some
1,
sort of quality
it's time
check?
for a special event.
Going
We're
in
throwing the regular
5,
schedule away
for
for a
Mr.
night of
Bozeman.
smiles
Sorry,
with
Jenny, but I
Jeremy
just can't
Donaldson
live with this
and
timeline. We're going again.
The number of blind dates I've been on when no one has turned up, followed by
Right,
the
here we are
one
again.
number of
Your
lumps
button
on
should be
my
working,
left
Winston.
arm.
Push it to freeze time.
Sweetheart, married my best.
So, only Magnus can stop the experiment, which he doesn't want to do. Which means we'll just have to fix his machine for him. It's got to be something to do with the relay, that contraption on your left. Fortunately, I found some instructions for it lying around in Magnus's definitely unlocked briefcase. Apparently, altering the machine's core workings is all about the wires, but we can't get at them because of the glass panel, which appears to have an unnecessarily complex combination lock. The instructions say, there is no way to unlock the relay without your customized combination, so we suggest writing it down or not forgetting it. Well, that's a great help. Maybe we'll get lucky and it's already set correctly? There should be a small button next to the combination to allow you to check it. Give it a press now and let's see what happens. All those red lights should indicate that none of the combination is correct. Ah well, that probably would have been too convenient and unfulfilling if the code was already entered for us. It says here you should be able to change the number by moving the dials up or down, then as we did before, press the button to see if we've entered the code correctly. Just check you can change the numbers now. Excellent, that all seems to be working. I suppose we'll just have to work out the code the old-fashioned way. Take a look at the notepad and I'll show you where I'm at with it all. As I was saying before that nasty business with the dead scientists, Magnus's rambling when he enters the studio correlates perfectly with the combination lock on the relay machine. So it seems to me, if we figure out all those bits of information, we can unlock the device and fix their infernal contraption. With that in mind, the combination is the total number of dates Magnus has been on where the other person didn't show up, the number of worrying lumps under his left arm, the very date his childhood sweetheart married his best friend, the age of Magnus's cat when he ran him over, how many conversations Magnus has had with his father, and the exact time his mother walked out. My God, his life sounds awful. Still, the next step is getting Magnus to spill the beans on all that information. We've already seen that disrupting the show hasn't helped us with anything, but I thought adding a second guest to sow a little more chaos might get the good doctor talking. Take a look to your right. I've put my Rolodex down there with you, with all the celebrities I can book for the show at short notice. Give it a spin now. When you've chosen your guest, simply pull their card out of the Rolodex and I'll book them for the next loop. Madder than 13-8 with 5 sharps, but at least he gets people talking. Right, now that we know who we're bringing on the show, let's turn back to the pad and I'll tell you how we'll solve this thing. When you hear any useful information, you can press the handy bell I put under the pad. I've got your broadcast feed coming directly to my office, so I'll be able to see and hear what's on your main screen whenever you ring the bell. Try it now, let's just check I can hear it. Perfect. You press it when you hear anything about the combination. When I hear it, if it's relevant, I'll write it out for us on the pad so we can keep track of it all. Once we have enough to figure out the code, we can fix this damn machine and get out of this mess. I can get us started because I happen to hear about the unfortunate passing of his father from a severe sawdust allergy, apparently, when he got home from the circus. So we'll put that down now. Right, so remember, we're looking for the information to solve the combination lock. Magnus will hopefully reveal different pieces of the information based on who you've chosen to bring on the show via the Rolodex. You'll ring the bell anytime you hear anything relevant, and I'll note it down. And you can start and stop the loops at any time by pressing the big red button on the relay machine. Let's get started. I can't deny he ups the ratings when he's on, but for a man whose brand is being right, he's got a very poor success rate.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact
Not easy
time
working for big science, is it?
Oh, no, it's me. I'm afraid I have trouble remembering impossibly convoluted things.
Like science, eh?
No.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Dr. Magnus, this is Alan James. If you could both take a seat, please. The host will be with you shortly.
Not you.
Big science, mate.
Oh, God, not in this time. Not who? Oh, God.
Look, I'm not happy about it either.
Jeremy Dawson.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, I got it first. Mr. James.
Nice to be back.
At least one of us.
Sorry, I'm late. Poison smoothie. Dr. Magnus.
Both of you this time, eh? I hope you come ready.
10
Now on
seconds.
Channel
You
1,
do know this
it's
isn't the
time
news,
for a
don't you?
special event.
Has anyone
We're
told
throwing
Mr.
the
James
radio
his...
schedule
5,
away for a night of
4,
smiles with
3.
Jeremy Donaldson, Megan Wolf, and a very special guest.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. It's the 13th of March 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national nightly news team.
In a laboratory, nestled in the sleepy hills of Chittlebury, Dr. Charles Magnus and his optimistically named Happiness Collective have been working on a secret project.
Absolutely nothing suspicious about that.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, live on Channel 1, we'll be putting that claim to the test.
Without your consent.
We'll be in and out the schedule throughout the evening, with our very loud special guest to report live on whether the device has brought a smile to your faces.
Or locked it into a rictus grin.
It's popular commentator, conspiracist, and entertainer, Alan James.
So don't move that dial. Stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you The Night of Smiles.
We probably don't need to watch these, Alex. Let's get back to the studio here, Alex. We don't want to miss anything important.
So not really a scientist.
Well, he ran a garage, did mainly tyres and exhausts.
More of a
Oh
mechanic.
my God, that sounds awful. do really have to listen to that every day, Alex. Let's just turn off the audience monitoring for now. We don't want to have that going off every time.
That lift thing and killed him. Dad was devastated. Had to read all the signage. What was your dad like?
Hard to say. I've got more PhDs than I've had conversations with.
Me too.
10 seconds.
You have PhD?
10 seconds.
No, a shitty dad.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass test of its type. So let's meet the man behind the merriment, Dr. Charles Magnus.
And inexplicably sat next to him is controversial speaker and columnist, and I believe now a best-selling author, Alan James.
Sales have been great, Jeremy. I'm as surprised as you are.
Probably a mix-up with the counting.
And yes, a sequel is on the way. In fact, I have the first proof copy right here. Okay. There seems to have been some sort of mix-up with the measurements. Yeah, that's hard to read, that.
Well, let's turn to the man of the moment, shall we? Dr. Charles Magnus.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm lucky enough to work with an amazing team.
In a secret lab somewhere deep underground?
No, in Chintlebury, near the supermarket.
Where does your funding come from, so-called Dr. Magnus?
A valid question.
Well, prior to last year, we relied mainly on charitable donations, but since Advance came to power, we...
Or as I call them in my new book, the corruppeteers. Like corrupt puppeteers. See?
Well, pretty much disregarding all of that, the Assets and Wealth Science Program gave us the means to get to tonight in a fraction of the time it would have taken otherwise.
And what did you have to do in return for all that lovely funding?
I beg your pardon?
I have been doing my own research, so-called Dr. Magnus, and this experiment is dangerous.
All science involves risk.
You're messing with the structure of reality. I've been doing my own research.
We are at the forefront of a new technology. This is how breakthroughs happen. This is how science works.
Well, what if what you call science is all a big lie? What if there's something more? Something bigger than science?
You can't get bigger or smaller than science, Mr. James. Science isn't a thing. It has no mass. It is simply a set of tools to understand everything.
What is the real purpose of your happiness device?
To make people happier.
And what if we don't want to be happier? What if we want to spread our misery to others?
Well, how is that different than what I'm doing?
Mass test.
Don't help him.
You're running mass tests of an experiment that could literally alter us all. We didn't sign up for this. It shouldn't be allowed to happen. It's way too reckless.
Well, look, there's less than a minute now to go. So while we go and get set up with Chester and yourself, Doctor, over at the Euphoria device, we can go live now to the new Advance HQ for a special message from the Prime Ministers, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury.
The Corrupt Masters.
Yeah, we're off air, Alan.
Okay, so that's about a minute back. If we could get you all over to the device now, please.
I hope you didn't mind me calling you so-called Dr. Magnus back there.
Well, I did rather. I do have 3 PhDs.
That sounds like a lot. Is it a lot? What actually are they, anyway?
They mean I do my own research.
Like me, you mean?
Hello again. Chester Mims, 24. My favourite foods are mashed potato, glacé cherries, and cat treats.
Alan James. I think for me it's probably trifle,
10 seconds.
aubergines, and bone marrow.
We're friends now.
Right you are.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Fantastic, the Prime Minister's there, and of course, without the assets and wealth funding...
We wouldn't be about to break the space-time continuum.
Honestly, how have we known? It's been broken for me for years.
I think we can get a counter on the screen. There, and we're going in 10, 9, 8, 7, come on, Jeremy.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1...
that sequence. Capital. That man could sell anything. I still have my inflatable fireplace to this day.